welcome back to Yes, I Said That on WCOBM.com. My name is Valerie, and I'm your host, and this is my friend Andrea Fisher, and she is the intuitive observer. Well, she's much more than that. But,
well, that's quite a big title in itself.
Well, I don't know. I was checking it out, so that was...
No, I loved it. That was
on the way.
comment.
I don't know if any of my regular guys have noticed that my hair has suddenly grown. I use this new CBD shampoo. No, I'm lying my ass off. I totally have a wig from back when my hair was not there, and I didn't feel like I just felt like playing dress up today. And you guys are the recipients. My friend Andrew said, "I want to borrow your wig, dude. You can borrow my skirt. The wig is mine." I'm kidding.
And I want to borrow the dress.
Right.
So I'll have to fight with Andrew over the dress.
Right. So I was playing with Andrea. I was like, okay, she called me and let me know she was just right across the street. So I was walking towards her. When I came in first, I said to the producer, Jake, I was like, I was wondering if there's any auditions. And he didn't really recognize me. And then I was walking up to her on the street.
Walking past me with this smirk on her face. And I'm like, God, that looks like Valerie, but... her hair was not that long, and the look on her face, I was, yeah. And then she said, "You're not that intuitive." And I was like, well, okay. I thought you were Valerie, but your hair grew really long and
right. I was just playing. It really didn't grow that long, but hey, underneath it's a mess. So I like it. I like to play dress up.
Yeah.
In a world where you can write your own script, why not write pretty hair?
Exactly. Exactly. You can be whatever you want.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. When I decided to take responsibility for my own existence, I guess that was a part of it.
And I think that's a big step that people need to make. When you start becoming aware of your life, that's a big step to be accountable for your thoughts and your words.
Right.
Because you've been operating just like a robot, and now, oh my gosh, if you're accountable, that means you really have to pay attention to what you're saying and what you're creating.
Be sure to taste your words before you spit them out.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
That is a good one. So I actually work with just a few at a time, one to three high-level executives who influence a lot of people. And they're people who have lived their life built on the Western dream. I know what that's like because I was in that whole Western. I was living the Western dream. I was married. I had a great life. I was working in the radio and television business, selling advertising, and then I read a book called The Autobiography of a Yogi, and it was like smacking my head against the wall. I realized I was sound asleep. And what really mattered, I didn't even have in my life.
And
that was my own personal self-love. I didn't know it at the time. It was just, I felt a lack. Like something felt like I was missing something. And on the outside, everyone thought I had everything. This great husband and this beautiful stepdaughter, and I loved my life. And then it was like, oh my God. It was what reality created for me. That's what was said to be successful. I followed the path of what was success.
Acceptable. Right.
So when I work with high-level executives, they are at the pinnacle of financial success. They have all the money they could ever want and more.
Right.
But there's
emptiness.
Exactly. There's
longing,
they're stuck.
Lack.
There's something they're not happy. And the world says if you have these things, you're happy.
Right.
It's not true.
Not necessarily.
No. Money's great to have.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's much better than living in your car to have a little money to pay your rent.
Yes. It's great to have plenty of money, and everyone deserves to have plenty of money to live well. But if you don't have if you don't have self-love, if you don't have care for yourself, you're just out there projecting everything that you're unhappy about. And that's really what the world is out there, just a projection of things that disturb you inside. Until you become accountable for what you see, what you say, what you think, then you realize you can't really blame anybody. It's your own, it's how you feel about yourself.
Right.
So I think that journey we all take at some point. Some, like yours, was excruciatingly painful. My life, all the things I loved fell apart when I started to question who am I? It wasn't like that brought me some sort of salvation of joy. In fact, it brought me quite the opposite.
Right.
Divorce, everything and everyone I loved was taken out of my life over a period of time. Yeah. And, sitting with myself and working through learning more about myself. I traveled the world, going to workshops, meeting teachers. I just wanted to learn. I wanted the masters to show me.
Right.
So it brought me a lot of international connections and a lot of very interesting people into my life who are walking this similar path where they're aware. And look what it brought. We met because of this reality.
Right.
And that's the thing. We meet each other, and then we see what similar causes we're in support of, and we rally together.
Exactly.
And we make a difference. Because it's no longer, oh, it's them, they're in charge, them out there. No.
It's us.
It is.
It's like the dawning. It's like we're right on this brink, and the scales are coming off of people's eyes. Not everybody, but that's enough people one at a time, helping each other, educating each other, connecting, ebbing, flowing, noticing.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is the support system where your own family. I was raised, okay, you do what your family says, and if your family isn't on that path,
right,
that's a hard path to leave. Like, I was the first of a lineage of my family that didn't choose to be a stay-at-home mom. I chose to go to college. I chose to educate myself, and I don't say there's anything wrong with the choices my family, the women have made before me. I just knew I wanted something different. It didn't look like they were really completely happy. They loved being mothers, but I could see and I didn't understand it, but I know when you leave the pack and you're not a part of it, it's a lonely path.
It is.
And that's why I like to say, hey, if you're awake and you're aware, welcome. You're amongst others.
Right.
We welcome you in. You found a new family.
Exactly.
And it doesn't
you're
mean
no longer alone.
No. And it doesn't mean your birth family has to follow your path. Like, bless their lives. Yes. Everyone grows and learns at their own pace, and that was a hard thing to learn at first because I was pointing out everything I was discovering, and my family just thought it was like shh, 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 shh,
Right.
Be quiet. Keep the skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, don't be transparent. Lie, carry the lie. That's what they've told us. That's what they've taught us. From I don't know if it was break or we were on the air, but Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, all of that.
Yeah.
We pump fear and lies in, and then we expect something else out.
Yeah.
From the false media, propaganda, for the gun control, it's all for everything. The war on drugs, the smearing marijuana campaign back in what was it, Hearst? William Hearst, I think he owned a paper company, and it was being threatened by the hemp industry, so he started a false media thing and smeared hemp everywhere so that his company wouldn't be threatened. And here we sit because of that, and years later it's still working.
Well,
Why?
A lot of changes happened.
A lot.
Gay marriages are now acceptable. Things that just a couple of years ago we wouldn't have considered. So it could just be...
It's happening.
It could be quickly where this doesn't even become a topic because it's it's been legalized next.
Right.
And the more the government wants to do things that they don't want us to see, the more they'll make all these little things distracting, and have us focus on them just so we don't really see what's going on.
Right. We're plugged in, and but that's it's tipping back. We just are just running out of time. Women talking.
Wow.
We have one more segment. We're going to be back with Andrea Fisher of the intuitiveobserver.com and a word from our sponsors.